So what about you, Amjad? What are your answers?
Sir, I opted for B and C.
B and C again. Okay, and what about you, Abdurrahman?
And B and C.
B and C. Hmm.
Yes.
So why you all are choosing B? Actually, it's
Yeah.
correct. Sorry, it's correct. Okay, I'm looking at the
It is.
third option, the upper one, and I'm I was looking at question number two's option. So, anyways, so that is fine. And Shakil, you opted for B and A, right?
No, sir, B and C, sir.
No, there was someone who said me B and A. No? Okay, then there must be some confusion. I'm sorry.
Okay, sir.
Right, now look at the phrases below. Listen again in the last audio and decide whether the phrases are in. Okay, you don't need to do that. We are already done with the purpose of the exercises, and your score is good enough. So we can move on.
Okay, sir.
Now, understanding the categories. Now, categories means I will show you a very simple exercise in which you will classify certain items. Okay, on the
Okay,
next
sir.
slide. The headings in the table tell you the type of information you will hear. Actually, this topic is first. Let me show you. There are particular type of questions, and one such type of question is table completion. In table completion, you get some columns and some rows like that. There will be some headings here. Okay, and let's say this heading will cover cost. This heading will cover maybe number of people or something, and here there would be name of a package. So you have to be able to understand that when the speakers are moving from one column to the next, and that is identified based on the category of the talk they are delivering. Okay, I will show you a very short exercise, small exercise in the coming slide, and then we'll talk on this. For example, here, this is very simple exercise. Um, you have to classify the words which are written here according to the type. For example, can you tell me, juice, what is it? Is it an accommodation, transport, entertainment, food, or drink? So obviously this is a drink,
Yes, sir.
right? Yeah, this is a very simple exercise, but I just want to touch upon it quickly. Picnic,
Entertainment, sir.
entertainment, right? Tent,
Okay.
Accommodation.
accommodation,
Accommodation, sir.
right? And barbecue,
Food.
and
Foods,
then tram,
Transport.
transport, then coffee,
Drink.
drinks, sir.
okay, cabin,
Accommodation, sir.
accommodation, flat,
Accommodation, sir.
and theater,
Entertainment.
Entertainment, sir.
entertainment, and then lemonade, drink, then
Drink. Okay.
coach,
Oh, okay, sir. Transport, sir.
then cinema, sorry,
Entertainment, sir.
Entertainment.
and then buffet,
Food, sir.
okay,
Food,
then
sir.
yeah, then concert,
Entertainment.
Entertainment, sir.
and ferry,
Transport.
transport,
Sorry.
right? Yeah, it's kind of a ship, you can say. And now
Yes.
let me move on. Why I introduced to this. These exercises are preamble to some other thing. Okay, some other exercises. Now we have already covered this part in our reading test. Sometimes, actually not sometimes, almost all of the times there will be a word limit for you. You already know that, right? So now this is the description of 3 words and or a number. I've already covered it, so I will just go through it quickly. So how to decide? First, you forget about and, let's say. Okay, that means either you can write only one number, this option, or now this word or is indicating or you can write only 3 words, and this maximum word says that you can only write even 2 words, and you can only write 1 word. So either when or is in between, either you write only a number, or maximum 3 words, or then 2 words, or 1 word. Then ignore this all, and now, and now forget about or here, and think that 3 words and a number. So what possible combinations can be there? 3 words and a number, 2 words and a number, 1 word and a number. So these all options are open to you. Fine. So we have already covered it. It was just a quick revision. So let's
Right, sir.
go to the next slide. Each of the following is an example of one word and or a number. Now this is important to understand. Like, this is one word and or number. Generally, a date is taken as only one word. But even if I count it as, this is a word and this is a number. 3 books, number, word. So this
And
is a date,
yes,
6, 11, 15. So it will be counted only as one number. Then 24 cats. Now, who will tell me? What is it?
One word.
1 word.
What is it?
The 3 words.
Actually, this is one word and a number.
1 word and a number, sir.
Yeah, 24 is a number, guys. Okay,
Apple.
24
sir.
is a number. So it is actually 24 cats. Okay, sorry for my bad handwriting. I made a rabbit of these cats actually somehow. So now remember, this is 24 is a number, and in our reading test, I recommended you guys that please don't write number in words. Why?
Okay, sir.
Because it's time taking, number one. Number
You
two,
can say.
you may make any mistake, like in hurry you may write TWENTEY or something. So there's a
Yes,
chance
sir.
of error. So this will save your time, and this will reduce the chances of error. So again, this is one
Okay,
number.
sir.
Now one more thing here. Remember, whenever you are in confusion, try to adopt the safest way.
Okay.
Try to adopt,
Okay, sir.
for example, if the date is given to you like 16 June. Now, someone may ask me, say, is June, Jun is per fine? This is an abbreviation of June. Yes, that is fine, but why to take risk?
Okay.
Like if
Okay,
I
sir.
give you an open end, you will start abbreviating too many things.
Mm.
Fine. So don't take risk. Like similarly here, if I say 24, you can write like this. But why to take risk?
Right, sir.
Okay. So
Okay.
try to adopt the safest way. I will, whenever now you will ask me something about this, I will suggest you to adapt the safest way. This is actually the Muslims' way as well. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you are confused about something, just leave it.
Yeah.
It is the meaning of that, kind of, not meaning exact meaning, but at least the overall meaning suggests that if something confuses you, leave it. Okay, so leave it for Allah. You
Sir,
will
I
get
have
it.
a small query here, please.
Yeah.
Okay, refer to the first example you are quoting, 16th June. I
Yeah.
have attempted a few tests
Hmm.
and have checked the answers in the books, like
Right.
Cambridge books.
Right.
I have seen that wherever such a date
That's
is
given.
called, or I have to, I mean, in a listening part,
Yeah.
uh, I do write the date in this format, like
Okay.
16th,
Right. Right.
17th, or 23rd, something like that,
Right.
RD or
Very right.
ND.
Very right.
But I have observed that at times they don't write this THND or
Exactly.
RD.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Look, what is the simplest way for you to write a rate? You can, in those answers, just check. They give you options like this. 16th, they will put a bracket here. Then they will write 16, Okay, and actually they will just keep it like this, and they will put a slash. Sorry, they would say 16th. Okay,
Slash.
then slash 16. So you can choose any one of these. Then there will be an option of, and they will put a bracket. That means this is optional. So if you use 16th of June, even then it's correct. Or June the 16th, even then it's correct. But why to put ourselves in trouble? The easiest way of writing a date is 16 June. Why to add th 3rd or 21st or 22nd? Why to do that?
Okay, sir.
Just go with the simplest way. Yeah, Abdurrahman, do you want to ask something?
No, sir.
No, okay. Now
What
listen.
about this, the last one? The
Sorry.
last one.
Yeah.
The last.
Yeah, no, this is, and again, I told yesterday, if you remember, if this unit is already present there, now let me explain this further. Let's say this is a statement written for you, and then here is a question number 5, and in that, let's say it is written the bus ticket, the cost of bus ticket, and then it is a blank here. So now in this blank, if there's no unit mentioned, so obviously you have to write the unit. If it says $20, then you have to write like that. But
Okay, sir.
if in this question, if the unit is already mentioned and there's a blank after that unit, there's a blank after that, then you don't need to write the unit. But I have seen in Cambridge books, sometimes, they even if you write a unit, it's correct. But my point here is why to take risk? If this unit is already mentioned here, then why shall I write this unit? Clear? Then there's another thing that it comes in the table format. Table format is easy to pick. You can just get rid of your confusion. Let's say it says that if you have to go by bus, if you have to go by train, or go by taxi or something, these are the options that you can avail. Here they have written the timing and something, and here they are rates or cost or prices or fares, right? Now,
Right.
sometimes what they say, the prices are in dollars. Like you all are students or you have been a student. So, sometimes we just mention the unit here.
Okay.
That whatever figure is written here, it is in dollars or it is in millions, right?
Okay.
Now, let's say if 15 is already written here and here it is 20, and this is a blank for you that you have to fill. Now for these kind of question, what should be your answer? Just look at these two options which are already filled. Is there any unit with these? No.
No.
So it
No,
means
sir.
it is taking this thing as a unit. So you can write your answer only, like let's say it is 10 without a unit. But if unit is mentioned with each of these figures, then you may mention and you have to mention units here. Clear?
Yes.
Right, sir.
So
But I have again a revision question.
observation.
That date 16th June, it's just one number. It will be counted as one number, right?
One number, yeah. Either you take it one number or you take it as one word. It's equally good or bad. I mean, it doesn't matter,
Okay.
right? It doesn't matter. But this is counted as one unit, like, okay.
Okay, sir.
Now listen to an extract from a conversation and answer the question below. Complete the sentence below with, now this is just a test of your, understanding of the options word limit that is given to you. No more than one, now you see, one word and a number, or just one word or just one number, isn't it?
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. So now I'm going to play it, and you have to pick the right answer, and you have to write here in this blank. So just look at this
Okay.
sentence. The expo will be useful because there will be more than dash experts there. So I'm playing it now.
Okay, sir.
Recording 12.
Hi, I'm interested in buying a ticket for the Small Business Expo next week, but I'm not sure it will be useful for me.
Well, this year we wanted to focus on computer skills. So, as well as representatives from 400 small businesses, we've invited over 250 specialists in that area.
Oh, that should be interesting.
So what is the answer?
It's 200.
Hmm?
200.
250.
250, right? Anything?
250, sir.
Yeah. I'm playing it again for you. Please notice, because I have to explain few options for you. You have multiple options here that you can use. Okay? So please, before that, I want you
Okay, sir.
guys to please listen to it again.
Recording 12.
Hi, I'm interested in buying a ticket for the Small Business Expo next week, but I'm not sure it will be useful for me.
Well, this year we wanted to focus on computer skills. So, as well as representatives from 400 small businesses, we've invited over 250 specialists in that area.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Okay, so their focus is on the computer skills. This is one word that you
Yes.
should remember. And then he said that we have invited 250 specialists, that means experts. Expert word is already written there, in that
Okay, sir.
area. Which area is that?
Computer
Computers.
skills, sir.
So basically,
Yeah.
these are 250 computer experts.
Okay, sir.
250 computer experts. But now, what are the possible answers for this? We'll see it on the next slide. Okay. Can you see these options here on the top? Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 250 computers. So what, is it correct or wrong?
Wrong, sir. It's
Wrong,
spelling
sir.
are not right.
Spelling mistake,
Private
right? So that's a problem. That's a problem. Now, 250 computer.
Right.
Correct or wrong?
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
What about you, Amjad?
Sir, it's correct.
It's correct. Good. And then 250 computers.
Sir, it's
It's
wrong.
not correct.
Wrong.
And what's wrong there?
Yes, sir. Computers.
Yeah, there was limit of one word and or a number. So this S is wrong actually. There's nothing wrong.
Yes, sir.
This 250 will be counted as one number, and computer
Yes,
will
sir.
be counted as one word.
Word.
But this S is wrong. Actually, that S is with the experts.
Yes, sir.
250 computer experts. It is not computers experts.
Okay.
Then over 250, this is violating the
Wrong.
word limit. These are two words actually. So over is wrong here. 250 computer experts is fine. 250 computer experts. This one.
Wrong, sir.
What's wrong there?
Wrong, sir.
And what's wrong
Sir,
there?
Two
experts.
words.
Experts is
Sorry,
already written.
experts is
Yeah,
already
Yes.
given.
already given. Again, over 250 experts. This is wrong. Then 250 computer.
It's right.
Right, sir. Right,
It
sir.
is correct now.
This one is right. The upper one is wrong.
You are telling me this digit is correct, but this upper one is wrong?
No,
second
at
last-
the option number 3 and the second last, they are same. Just the addition of that S which you have highlighted
Yeah,
at
so
option number.
that means this option is correct now.
Yes,
Right.
And what about the last one, 250?
sir, it's right.
It's right. Why? Because you know that computer word is optional here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This okay. So now just
Okay, sir.
ask from yourself, that writing a sentence like 250 experts have been invited. That's pretty fine. Or if I say 250 computer experts have been invited, even then it's fine. Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
All
Okay,
right.
sir.
But I hope this exercise have given you a fair idea about the word limit. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now identifying distractors. Now distractors are something I've already covered this. I've touched this point. Distractors are something which distract you. So what does it mean? It means that you know, there will be multiple figures, multiple data which will be discussed, but the correct option will be only one of them. The other
Okay,
options
sir.
would be just distractors. They are there to confuse you.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Now in this there are certain other warnings and there are certain other you know, points that you should keep in your mind. For example, sometimes the first option which is given to you is not the correct option. Sometimes the first correct option that may sound you correct may not be the correct option. What does it mean? I'll give you some examples. For example, if
Okay,
a
sir.
question asks you, which food is the most famous food in Karachi, or let's say in Islamabad, or let's say in Pakistan, or in Somalia? Which food is the most famous food, you know, food in Somalia, let's say, for that matter? And then, you know, you listen to the recording. And in the recording, it says that, well, this is Nihari Abdurrahman, you may not understand it, but well, this is, let's make it pizza. Well, pizza is one of the most liked foods in Somalia. Now, you know, this may tempt you to write an answer pizza, and you may ignore what this speaker says afterwards. This is double Z, right? So what this speaker says afterwards, because
Okay.
you think that you have found the answer, but that may not be the case. After this sentence, you may hear something, well, pizza is one of the most liked foods in Somalia, yet burger is the most popular food in Karachi, in Somalia.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You see, it is
Yes, sir.
one of the most liked, but not the most. Question is asking you the most thing, the number
Yes,
one
Okay.
sir.
thing. And here, the first sentence, that this is one of the top three famous, you know, foods. But which is the most popular here? That is, you know, that may be something else. So the information you hear first time may not be the correct option. This is number one.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Number
Right,
two,
sir.
let me show you one more example. Sometimes, you know, what they do, they just create a confusion. Okay. For example, at what time the customer is asking at what time the first train leaves from for Lahore, or for that matter for Somalia again, right? Let's move to Somalia now. So at what
Okay.
time the first train leaves to Somalia or for Somalia? And that call center says at 9:50. So customer confirms, okay, you mean 9:50? Then the call center, no, I said 9:15.
Okay.
You see,
Okay, sir.
after listening to this information, you may get confused. Well, it is 9:50, and you may write an answer 9:50, but this may not be the correct option.
Okay.
Okay, then another example. Similarly, the call center may say, well, at what time the first train leaves from Lahore? At 10:30. And you know, you just ignore whatever is said after that, and you get busy in writing the answer without listening. The call center say
Okay.
at 10:30, and it is so and so train. Oh, sorry, it leaves at 9:30.
Okay.
So you know the correct answer here is 9:30, because
Yes.
that call center has corrected him or herself afterwards.
Mm.
So all these things are distractors which distract you from the main or the exact correct answer, right?
Okay.
Now you have different questions from each of the sections, and you have a word limit now. So far, there was no word limit introduced to you. Now you will find a word limit for all of the exercises. So here, the word limit
Okay.
is one word and or a number.
Okay.
I'm giving you 30 seconds to look at these questions first, and then I'll play the recording.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to play now. Good luck.
Recording 13. 1.
Right, so you need to book some flights, is that right?
Yes, for me and my family. We're going to Scotland for my sister's wedding.
Oh, lovely. When's the wedding?
It's on the 21st of July.
That should be wonderful. But I assume you'll want to fly in earlier. What about the 20th, or even the 19th?
It will have to be the 18th. I've actually got to attend a special dinner on the 19th.
Okay, so what's the answer?
It's
Sorry?
18 July.
18 July.
Yeah, right.
18th July.
July. So remember, now the simplest way of writing it is 18 July, right?
Exactly.
Okay, we'll talk about the answers later. Let me resume the recording now.
2.
Welcome aboard, everyone. I hope you'll enjoy your stay with us and get a lovely glimpse of country life. We're going to a wonderful market on Tuesday morning. I'm sure you'll love that, with all the local farm produce on sale. Then, on the Wednesday, you'll get to see where all that lovely produce comes from, as John Smith, a local farmer, has invited us to see him at work. On Thursday, you'll have a day to relax before we leave on Friday.
Okay,
3.
so
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay.
Wednesday, sir.
Okay, with W capital, remember.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, next.
So, what topic are we going to choose for our project? It's due in 3 weeks.
I know. It's not a lot of time. I was going to suggest we do one on the environment.
But that's so broad a topic. We should try to narrow it down. What about recycling?
That's a good idea. There's a lot of information, and I think the other groups are concentrating on pollution, so this would be nice and different.
4.
We
Recycling.
encountered quite a few problems during our research. Firstly, the weather was horrendous and made our work conditions very difficult indeed. Luckily, we had the right equipment to deal with that and could carry on regardless. Unfortunately, though, in spite of having so many volunteers, we did run out of funds halfway through the project, so we were forced to postpone the second half of our trip.
Now, this number 4 is challenging. I knew you're going to miss it.
Fun.
Okay. What about you,
It's
Amjad?
fun.
There is funds.
Funds. And what about you, Shakil?
Yes, sir, funds. Lack
Well
of funds.
done. Well done. Lack of funds, right. So,
Yes, sir.
but okay, now you have noticed the different accents.
Yes, sir.
Whenever there will be like Australian or something, you know, you don't need to remember or recognize that which accent you are listening to, but try to keep your ears open for all kind of accents. Like the pure native people, you know, sometimes they just emphasize on each and every word. Okay, and for them,
Okay, sir.
you know, particularly that we have seen in this question too. And for these people, you know what they do, they for example, if they have to say 8, the figure 8, right, this one, they would say it as I eat, and you know you may get confused. So try
Okay, sir.
to listen to multiple accents, right?
Right, sir.
Okay, so answers, I guess all of your answers were correct. 18th July, but 18 July is perfectly fine. Then recycling, Wednesday with W capital, and then fine.
Okay, sir.
Now, let's move forward to the next exercise. Here, listen to the extract again and write down the distractors in the last column. So we don't need to write down these distractors. We already know there were 3 dates mentioned, 21st, 19th, 18th or something, 20th and 19th, but the correct answer was 18th. So similarly, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, multiple days was mentioned, but only this thing was there. Now, recognizing paraphrase. Paraphrase means, you already know that. The paraphrasing means saying something in different words. That means translating it something into different words. So sometimes, you know, you may hear a synonym of some word, or sometimes that idea may be described in a totally different way. Okay. Paraphrasing are also used in IELTS reading, and you have already seen it. And in IELTS writing test and speaking test, it is expected from you that you will use this paraphrasing thing. Okay, in reading and listening, you will have to deal with paraphrasing, and in writing and speaking, actually you are expected to use paraphrased versions. This is very simple exercise. I don't think you need to do it, but if you still, you know, you want to, you may. These are for basic, like Filipinos, they generally, you know, don't understand many basic things. So for them, I have to introduce this thing. So anyways, but here I want to introduce a good tip for you. Now, a price, money to carry, a drawback. Abdurrahman, are you back on speakers?
Bluetooth connected.
I have a problem with me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Right. Here, a price. So actually, it's a fee, right?
Right, sir.
A location.
A place, sir.
A place. Okay. Then funding.
Money.
Money, sir.
Money.
Money, sir.
Money.
Money.
Money. Okay. Then dangerous.
Risky, sir.
Risky. Okay. Now, please hold on to this answer. And then a solution.
An answer, sir.
An answer. Perfectly fine. Then to transport.
To carry, sir.
Okay, now here I want to tell you only one thing, that you know, even if I remove 2 from here, and you know, whenever there will be a verb, you may find its meaning with to do this thing, right? Transport
Right.
may be a noun, but to make it a verb, we just add to with it. So disadvantage,
Drawback, sir.
drawback, obviously, and effect.
And impact, sir.
Okay, that's very simple. So now let's move forward. So here is an exercise for you. Listen to the audio and choose the correct options. Again, MCQs. Amjad, you will see a lot of MCQs here. Okay, just try to practice all the possible options. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention. I don't know. I guess I forgot it because you know, I recalled it in the morning, actually, somewhere before Fajr prayers. Okay, it came into my mind that I missed this point. So now, that point was, whenever a section starts, for section 1, they give you, let's say, 30 seconds to look at question number 1 to 6. Fine. During this,
Fine,
try
sir.
to look at these questions. In the first question, they attempt, they attempt or they show you a solved example. Recording will start from this point, and recording will stop at this point, once the example is done for you. Okay? They will tell you that now we are going to show you an example, and once that example is completed, maybe in first 45 seconds or maybe in first 1 minute, after that they will stop. So this, this example has nothing to do with you. The recording will again start playing from the beginning. So why you need to see the example? Like, try to ignore this thing and use that time to look at these questions carefully.
Okay, sir.
So this
Right,
way
sir.
you will get almost double time to look at question number 1 to 6 or 1 to 10. You may look at question number 1 to 6, and even utilizing this time, you may look at the next questions as well. But please don't go to the second section until this point, because you will forget them. So try to get a good look of these questions. Why I'm insisting on this? Because section 1 and section 2 are relatively far easier than 3 and 4. So
Okay, sir.
don't waste or don't lose marks in these two sections. Try to, keep your mistakes or options for mistakes saved for the later version, later sections. Okay, so
Right,
avail
sir.
this time, this example time, in looking at these questions. Then obviously they will give you 30 seconds to look at question number 1 to 6. Then after this, recording will again stop, and then they will give you time to look at question number 7 to 10. So again, look at these questions. Once you are done with section 10, at that time you will hear a recording. It would say you, now that's end of section 1. Now you have some time to look at your answers. Okay, now
Okay,
you have
sir.
some time to look at your answers. That means answers to question number 1 and 10. This time is given to you, that maybe that's quite possible that during listening you may not be able, you might have missed some question. So now you have some time to look at your answers. If you have just written an incomplete answer, you can complete it. But those who have attempted listening tests, particularly like Amjad and Shakil,
Yes, sir.
you would agree that if you have missed a question, that means you have missed it.
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
You cannot recall, like if this is question number 1 to 10. Okay, and now towards the end of section 1, they said that, well, now you have some time to look at your questions 1 to 10, and God forbid you have missed question number 6. So I'm telling you, based on the experience, you will, no matter how much time you spend thinking about question number 6, you
Yes, sir.
will not be able to recall it. So
Yes,
don't
sir.
waste this time in looking at these questions or these answers. Instead, what you do, they have given you time to look at answers. Instead, you just enter section 2 and try to look at those answers. Those questions.
Right, sir.
Okay?
Okay,
Now,
sir.
if some, through your eagle's eye, if you could spot that there are some MCQs waiting for you in section 3. So I would
Right,
suggest
sir.
you that you skip this part. Like, they have given you this time to look at question number 1. Look at your answers. Don't look at these answers. Instead, jump to that MCQ part.